Hello ladies and gents, welcome to the live stream. Hope everything looks okay. Seems to be. Okay. So, welcome. I was going to do a glider video today actually for the YouTube channel, and then this came along, so I thought, hey, this is an unexpected surprise, so let's have a look at this. This is the Boeing 727-100, so it's the baby version of the 200. And already it's looking a lot shorter. And actually, my initial impressions is I like the proportions of the 100 more than the 200. I think going back to the 200 from now, the 200 will always feel a little bit too long. So the arrangement of the three jet engines at the back with the wings and the whole fuselage and the tail, it feels nicer. It looks nicer and feels nicer, to me at least, I think, in the 100 variant as opposed to the 200 variant. But having said that, I will love them both equally, I'm sure. So just looking at some textures here, I've just fired it up, started up the live stream. And interesting. I don't know if the 200 variant has these like, I don't know, sticky outy bits, but now my texture settings, my texture settings might not be on a full ultra, so bear in mind that for smoothness sake, I tweak a fair amount of my settings these days down, even despite being in Sim Update 4. I don't have everything turned on to the max, and that's because my processor is an older processor, and despite the fact I've got a 4070 Super, I think, the processor is an i7 8700K. Yeah, 8700K. So it's several generations old. But here we are. So I'm loving I do love the 727 tail. That tri-jet tail stuck up there looks beautiful, and the United, this livery is a beautiful livery on this as well. Look at the dirt under there. That's really cool. What we'll do is we'll jump into the aircraft now, and where's my door actually? Oh, maybe the 727 doesn't have. Oh no, that's the door. I think there's that division in the. Oh, can I? No. It's just unpause track IR. Oh. No, I can't. There's no clickable stuff from the outside. But let's just jump on the inside. I can't stand their textures. Yeah, it's much of a muchness. The external textures, yeah, they do. I think the dashboard actually looks quite nice. Yeah, they've got the scuff marks, and look at the handprint. You can see where someone's drug their fingers accidentally, or they've got some finger things there. I quite like the front dash there, but yeah, the external textures, I definitely think they could be better. But at least I will say this: I do love the Just Flight F-28 to bits. You all know I do. But at least this hasn't run the same mistake as the Just Flight folks and put massive scores and scratches on the roof, as if they've been in some sort of hijacking and rolled the whole aircraft upside down, and there's been some sort of wrestling match going on the roof, which, correct me if I'm wrong, did that actually happen in real life? Or am I just being completely... Anyway, right, so let's get things set up. This is my first time. We're going to be going on VATSIM, which is probably a bad idea, but I'm really good at making bad decisions. So I've just jumped in. Everything's cold and dark, so obviously, having flown the 200, I know I bring up my my iPhone, and I can bring up my EFB. And, oh, okay. What is that? Oh. All right, I have to put in my paste and activate key? License key activation. Okay, right. Well, I guess that's one of the first steps you need to do with that, guys. So let me just go grab that and see if I can do this. I'll just probably in... what I'll do is I will jump back to the... I will jump back to this page, the splash screen, just while I put in this information. So you guys know what I'm doing. Or you guys don't see what I'm doing. There we go. So there's that massive long key. And paste and activate key. There we go. Pasted and activated. Send activation request. Activation complete. Thank you. There we go. Okay, so I can bring that back now. Sorted. Right, so I just plopped the activation key in there. Right, so you could always plan dodgier than Aerosuture style and bring too little fuel, then you have glider video. Yes, that is an excellent idea. I can't stand their textures. Textures this quality requires proper deep systems. Good evening, Ian. What's a proper deep system? That's a good question. Yeah, I think that the quality creep over the years has been that I think the whole concept in the flight sim community of high quality, high fidelity, study level, blah blah blah, that whole genre of add-ons is has been muddied. The waters have been muddied, I think, and of course, you know, flight sims becoming more and more capable graphically and all that, and their SDKs and their systems becoming easier for and more intuitive and have a great richer depth for devs to do more things. It does mean that on average the quality creep has happened, which is a good thing for all of us. But in a weird way also that seems to cheapen high quality stuff. Like, you know, back in P3D, back in the days of P3D version 5 and 6, you know, before MSFS 2020 came out, this would be considered far higher quality than it is today. But of course, we're comparing it up against vastly different metrics than we would have 5-6 years ago. Anyway, I'm babbling now. So ground cones, chocks, we'll keep them on for the moment. Engine covers, ground power is connected. No, actually, let's just connect ground power. Boarding stair. Let's. Oh no, is that aft stair? What boarding stair remove? I didn't want to remove the boarding stair. Aft stair open. That's what I wanted. Let's go see. Yeah, there we go. So let's go back out to the Shift C. Ah, that's what I wanted to look at. Of course, the 727-100 was designed from the ground up to be an aircraft that could fly into your big international hubs. I can't actually go up that, but this would fly into your big international hubs, and then fly out to a smaller regional airports that larger aircraft couldn't land into. So that's cool. Right, so what I could do, if I just pause track IR and I go to my chase plane and I go to cabin view, I think. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, but of course this moves at like slug space place because preferences. I move this down, I think. Yeah, here we go. Speed. Position. Let's give this a good welly. There we go. Rotation. I had this set up for like a cinematography sort of style thing. So this is yeah. Nice. Just spin that around. Let's just go and take the weight and make the rotation, the weight heavier. Yeah. Oh no, that's not good. There we go. There we go. Let's go back up. So on all sides, that's. I mean, the textures on the internals. I mean, this looks good. I mean, look at that. That doesn't look like some repeating stuff. That looks like that's in, you know. That looks like that's properly baked, and custom textures there. Those pipes there look good. Like the look of that copper join on the pipes. Looks like, and I mean, obviously, I know absolutely nothing about the internal guts of a 727, but it all looks really cool, and it is weathered. It has a good level of weathering, which you would expect for something on an internal like this. That there does look quite realistic to the way kind of copperized metal would appear. That, of course, is the massive, great intake nozzle for the third engine that sits on top. So that's right above your head as you come in here. And then, can I actually open this door? Ah, yes, I can actually open the door. That's sweet. I love it. That's cool. Can I go in here? Yes, I can. All right, very nice. Ooh, that's quite roomy. That's quite roomy. Let's go have a look at this one too. Oh, can I not open that one? No, I've not kind of no. So it's identical on the inside, but that door doesn't open. Let's see if I just click. Yeah, so I just click the window. Right. So for reference, so you can click the window, and the click spot actually is the lever as well as the window. So be careful. There you go. Nice noise. Nice open and closed noise. Cool. All right. I like it. Yeah, that's cool. Let's go back to what I was doing before. Let's go back to the pilot view. We've got a bit of... oh, that's cool. We've got a bit of rain in Florida, so we'll get to see the wipers working. Let's close that now. You can see that closing. Very good. Now, I was in the middle of setting up camera views, but then I had an issue where I had to restart the sim, so I will have to do that later. This is probably going to be a fairly late evening, so we'll see. So, panel state cold and dark. That's what it was on. Cockpit view, left seat. Clock time UTC. Auto throttle switch. I think. Let's show that. Actually, hello. Ah. Right, so that's the auto throttle engaged switch. Obviously, the forward panel is looks a bit different, which looks actually, I have to say, I prefer the look of this MCP, if you can call it that, versus the 200 version. Visuals and sounds are more important to me than study level. I understand your standpoint, but for me, it's more about the simulation of the internals than I don't mind if an add-on has average or slightly crappy visuals, as long as the devs have spent a really good amount of time on the systems and the flight modeling and all of those things. If I'm actually flying a really well represented aircraft in that sense, I can forgive bad graphics. But I like graphics as well. So he thinks Justified have hit the mark pretty well in general. Majestic remains legendary as a mythical creature nobody sees. Yes, exactly. Like a unicorn that no one ever sees, but it's just mythical. Alright, so let's just look at it. So, co-pilot callouts active, cabin crew active, winglet not installed, that's fine. Let's go options. Yeah, so I'm going to go SIVA INS straight away, because that's just how I roll. I don't ever. I will never ever put any of these other things. No, not even that. Sorry. We're gonna go imperial units because we're in America. I can't click. Oh, I see. You'd need to be on 25 kilohertz to go analog, but because we're going on VATSIM, I'm going to go 8.33. Smoke effects on. GSX auto mode on. Cabin lights. Let's go cabin crew. Altimeters sync. Actually, I'm going to put all of them yes. Alt selector type. Central panel. That's fine. On-screen keyboard off. Flight plan. So if I hit load, yep, okay, so that's pulled in the weights and balances for my SimBrief flight plan, which I'm going to hit start and start on both of those. Another thing, obviously, sooner rather than later, is actually getting the INS aligned, which is a big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here. We're going to pull our Latin long in Tampa. Let's go more. Copy that to my text pad, my notepad. Let's pull that up. Throw that in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop in the position. We're going to go north 27, 2758.5. Insert. We're going to go west 82, 8232.2. Insert. And then we're going to go align. And that's going to take that Latin long in the position, and that's going to align that. And if we now go down to distance desired track / system, this is the desired track. This is the level of error, or this is if you have a functional error with the unit. This you'll have a 1, I think, but obviously there's no errors detected by the system yet. The 95 or the 95, that is the level of how much is the unit aligned. 95 being the least aligned. That number is now in the aligned position. What it's going to do is it's going to track down from 95 to 85, 75, 65, 55, 45, 35, 25, 15, and 05. And when it's at 05, it is as aligned as it possibly can be. You would then, in the ideal world, when it's 05, you go from align to nav, and that locks the alignment in the unit for the duration of the flight. That's the concept. So basically, now that we're in the align mode, we've told the unit where it's supposed to start, where we are on the airport. It's now in its alignment phase, and we can come back as we go through the pre-start, and you should see the 9.5 go to 8.5 and 7.5, etc., etc. What we can now do, now that it's in align phase, is we can begin putting in our waypoints. That's usually a good thing to do because you've got other things to do. So, having said that, let us go and have a look at our flight plan. So, what I have done is I have grabbed a SimBrief flight plan from Tampa up to JFK. That's the flight we're going to be doing today. It is roughly 800-ish nautical miles. Should take about 2 hours 43 minutes to do, so we need to get in the air fairly quick here. And I'm not going to put absolutely every single waypoint in this flight plan because a lot of them are interim waypoints. Like, for instance, this section here from Pandy to Johar, I'm not going to put every single waypoint in. I'm just going to put Pandy and Johar, and the aircraft's going to fly a direct straight line in between here and here, which is what the flight plan is anyway. So, essentially, wherever there's a straight line, I'm just going to put the I'm going to put the corners of the straight lines in to just save on my workload later. Because the SIVA INS, as we know, only has 9 entry points for the waypoints. And when you get to 9, you go back to 1 again. And that's the kind of thing we're going to get into when the PMDG 747-100 hits us. That's for that aircraft. For the moment, for a short regional flight, I'm not going to bother too much with going above 9 waypoints. We will be on VATSIM, but there's no ATC online at Tampa at the moment, so it's going to be a Unicom departure, which is probably a good thing. There's not much at Tampa at the moment, so the first waypoint we're going to be using is this one here. Now, for those of you who might be trying to follow along and looking at how you fly a 727 on 2024, is when you have your Simbury flight plan, if you go View PDF up at the top, in a separate tab, you get your flight plan as a PDF. And if I scroll down, you will begin to see here. These are the lats and longs for each waypoint is here. And this is what I'm going to use actually. So the first waypoint I said was what did I say the first waypoint was? The first waypoint was Finchy. So if I go along and go Finchy, I'm going to pop that one in first. So that's my process. And I'm just going to go along and I'm going to go to waypoint. I'm going to go to waypoint. The DME selector, I'm going to go to 1. Of course, 0 is our current position, remember. So we're not going to put anything over 0. We're going to go the first waypoint after the current. So that's going to be north, 28, 11.9. Insert. West is 8234.6. Insert. Okay. So, and then the next one after this one, I'm probably going to go Ikake. Hey. It's going to be this one here. So I'm going to go to number 2. North, 2840.2. Enter. West, 8235, so 8235.3. Enter. Okay, so that's the second. Let's go number 3. So number 3, we're going to go Willon. So let's go have a look at that. So that is north, 2925.1. Enter. Or insert. West, 8241.6. Insert. Waypoint 4. Okay, this is where I start skipping some. I'm going to go to Camjo, because they're all in a massive straight line there. North, 3030.5. Insert. West, 8241.2. Insert. Waypoint 5. So from Camjo, I'm going to have to go Hepar, which is the next one. We might be more than 9 here, folks. So north, 3105.2. West, 8233. Oh, nope. I made a doozy there. Let's go back and redo that. So west, 8233.8. Insert. Waypoint 6. So from there, we're going to go team. Yeah, we're probably going to have to go, but, you know, it's a good exercise. North, 3208. 7. Enter. West is 8154.8. Insert. Okay, next one. That's team. Okay, Pandy is my next one. So that's north 3328.5. Insert. West 8026.9. Insert. Waypoint 8 is Johar. There it is. Okay, so that's north 3419.7. Enter. West is 7835.6. insert. So the last waypoint for the moment, Johar, is going to be, I'm going to put it Defenk, north, 3555.2, enter. West is 7703.6. Enter. Right, so that's all 9 waypoints that I can do, and I've gone all the way up to Defenk, which I am going to highlight on the. So I've basically going to highlight that on the PDF so that I know that's how far I've gone up to, and on the flight plan. If I draw little nav map, little nav map across. Defenk is this green circled waypoint here. So you're relatively close to JFK at that point. We'll probably have two more waypoints after that, so we'll probably reuse the field of waypoint 1 and waypoint 2. But not a big deal. So cruise out is 35, flight level 350. Let's just drag that across there, and let me just double check. I wasn't going to check out chat at the same time as put all those waypoints in. Everyone seems happy in chat. We've not broken anything, we've not crashed, and VATSIM hasn't shouted at us yet, so we seem apparently to be fine. So, right, now that we've put in our waypoints, let's go back to desired track / status 6.5. Okay, so we're on 6.5 now. I know that I think if I press the ready nav button, it does an instant alignment, but I don't want to do that because I like to do things by the book, particularly when it comes to the SIVA INS. If I don't like mucking it around. I don't like trying to cheat it. I prefer to let it do its thing. I found it to be a little bit of a finicky system on the 200. Sometimes you'll do everything by the book and take off, and then you go nav hold, auxiliary navigation source, and then it takes you off to some completely other random corner of the globe. So, yeah. So, we've got the APU on, but we've also got the GPU connected, so essentially we don't need the GPU. We've got about 8 minutes, yeah, so the fuel is finished coming on board, and the cabin load is still 8 minutes away. So let's just remove the ground power. Yep, you can hear that coming off. And we could probably let's run the before start flow now. Got our engine start guards there as well. Anti-skid. There's several tests that are going to have to happen. So what I'm going to do is, while we're just my first officer's doing his flows, I'm just going to bring VATSIM online. I'm expecting that we are in Unicom. But maybe this is the tactic I need to employ. Every time I go and fly on VATSIM in a place where there's ATC, the ATC immediately disconnects. Maybe flying in a place on VATSIM where there is no ATC means that ATC will just spontaneously manifest themselves. One can hope. So there's no ATC online at the moment. There is a single 737-8 on the field going to Atlanta. But there is a tower. There is a tower controller online at JFK. There was area and approach controllers online, like literally before I started the stream, which is it's just the way it is. But hopefully there's something more there when we get there. So. Sounds like the voice lines for the first officer are different than the 200 version. Let me just double check. Are my okay? I need to set my controls. Right, I know what's going on. I need to go to my 2 throttle quadrants, and instead of single GA left, It needs to be 727 left. There you go, 727 left. Oh. That means 737 left and 727 right. There you go. So if I get rid of that, these... Oh dear. No. That's the other way... Ah, it's the other way around. Okay. Right. I gotcha. I always have to do this. Okay, so this one needs to be the left one, and this one needs to be the right one. There you go. There we go. So those ones don't work, and then these ones are all my three individual throttles. Okay, sweet. So what are we looking at down here? Oh, okay, so we're almost... That's the blue light now, so we should be 5.5 at least. Yeah, so we're now 5.5. So that's going well. Yeah, things are going okay. So let's just go and have a look at VATSIM. We are United. No, that's not United. What am I doing? Oh, I need to put this with this. Hang on. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Right. So it's it's UAL 231. That's what we're flying today, and we're going to be Boeing 721. Like so. Connect. Okay, so that's connecting. While that's all happening, let's just let's uncage our standby attitude. And we can also hit the B key. There we go. Let's hit the B key to automatically grab local altimeter setting. Let me pause track IR, and I'll go to my favorite nifty diffy website, metar-taf.com, to find the metar for Tampa, because we don't have an ATIS to tell us what it is. So let's go grab Tampa. Okay, so at Tampa we are 23 Celsius. Goodness me. Florida would be nice to live in, apart from the hurricanes. 6 knots from the south, so it's going to be a runway 19 takeoff. VFR conditions, we've got a few broken, scattered up at 5,000, broken at 7. Altimeter's 3005, okay, so that's all good. And our altimeters are 3005, so that's correct. So that's all good. Everyone's okay. The stream seems peachy. No one's shouting at me in the chat to tell me I'm doing something stupid. It would make me feel more comfortable if someone did that, because that's what I'm used to. Right, so I'm going to make an elect decision that we're going to take runway 19 right for takeoff, which is a taxi up Victor to Victor. I'll go Victor 8, yeah, and then take off to the south, and then I'll do just a vector. I'm going to vector myself around along the coast, and then I'm going to come up to my first INS waypoint. So that's my plan, and there ain't no ATC out there that's going to stop me. So if I go back to, if I just refresh VATSIM, the VATSIM map. Okay, oh, someone's pre-filing. Okay, departures, no flight plan. Yes, I need to do my flight plan. So let me do that now. I'm going to go to SimBrief. I go to pre-file on a network. I pre-file on VATSIM. That takes me over to the VATSIM input page, which I don't like this VATSIM input page. I actually prefer doing it all within vPilot. But such is life. Transponder is Charlie. Equipment, I don't. This is the thing. I think it would be whiskey for transponder. I don't know that I'm transponder code. Boeing 727-100 with SIVA INS transponder code? Question mark? Squawk. It's not gonna. Equipment code. Equipment code. Okay, so a Boeing 727-100 equipped with a SIVA INS typically uses the ICAO equipment code Bravo 5 or C4, depending on the specific RNAV capabilities. Okay, here we go. So B4 is en route RNAV 5 with DME INS, with RNAV 2 for a flight plan filed with air traffic control. The aircraft's navigation capabilities are typically indicated. The slash whiskey indicating no RNAV or RFS. Okay, yep, I'm slash whiskey. So slash whiskey. There we go. Transponder code. Or should that be in the equipment? No, that should be in the equipment. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in the equipment. Right, in the remarks. SIVA INS. Navigation. No GPS on board. Right. File flight plan. Oh, okay. Alphanumeric, whatever. So it's just whiskey in the box. File flight plan. There. Oh my goodness, that's loud. What was that? Auto ATC. That just destroyed me. Sorry. No, there does not appear to be any controller. Well done. Please squawk 7104 for your flight plan. Okay, alright, fine. That was super loud. Why was that so loud? Okay, I'm just gonna... Yeah, 7104. Let's pop that in the box. 7104. Altitude, not yet. Yeah, I don't know why that's a problem right there. I'm gonna go. Why can't that come on? Strange. That changed the transponder selector. The mode selector is in op. That's strange. Am I able to go squawk mode Charlie? I'm not able to actually click squawk mode Charlie on there. Let's go back to my transponder. There were transponder options, I remember. Analog. Ah. There we go. There. That's what I want. Okay, 7. What was it? 7104. 7104. Let's go on. Yeah, that's fine. And then from here, yeah, okay, so we've got squawk mode Charlie. Okay, so we're INS level 25, so we're getting closer to full alignment and ready for push. Yeah, this is kind of the level of work you need to do to do a 727 flight, which is actually a lot easier because we have an automated first officer and flight engineer helping us out with all of this jazz. So there's that. So let's just pull up. Let's just double check. Now, is this airport under CTAF? Or can I just go 122.8? I'm going to go 122.8 and see how we go. Oh, okay. Wait. Have I turned that on? And have I turned on my radios? My radios are turned on. Radio masters are turned on. Why am I not able to change any of these buttons down here. Why are they not twisting? Nothing's twisting. Why is that? Why can I not change any of that? What kind of weird system situation are we in here? I like to turn on this gauge backlighting because it helps give me a clue as to, not the red. It gives me a clue as to what the electrics on the aircraft are doing. It gives me a clue, a visual indicator, if the flight engineer has any issues that happen. What a beautiful aircraft! Look at that. The tug is already done its tuggy thing. Yeah, why can't I change my frequencies, dudes? I should be able to. My avionics are on. That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Unless, I mean, my VHF-1 is on. Oh no, that's still not working. I thought I was super clever there by finding that out. Yeah, those are on. The two master switches for navs. None of the thingies are operative. Let's just double check our. Yeah, both of those are finished. Switch down on the audio panel. I tried that, Ian. As in this panel here, Ian, or nav 1? No, that's. I have VHF-1 on, which is, and I have the actual switch set to VHF-1 on instead of off, and that is not working. Is there a switch further down? For the ADFs are on norm, the navs are on norm, but the VHF comms don't have like an on-off switch anywhere. Strange. Put both of them on? Okay, just radio panels and autopilot brightness knob. What's this? Stab brake. Pick up phone. There's a click stop. Try putting a different frequency in COM2. I can't because the knobs to actually turn or tune these are in-op. They're not tuning any frequency. If I flip over to COM1 standby to change that or to use that as an active frequency, you know, I'm not able to change anything else. Navs don't twist, and ADFs don't twist either. That's very strange. Turn the mic switch for mic 1 on. Yeah, I did. So you've got VHF-1 on, VHF-2 on. The volume, let's turn up the volume maybe? No, this is weird. So and then the arrow is from off to on. There's the PA, of course, if we wanted that. Range, both voice. Nav, ADF. No. The frequency indicators. Oh, okay, if I go to 5 and then go analog and go back, can I change them now? I still can't change them, although they look different. They look far nicer in this situation. Oh, that's a pain in the backside. Why is this not working? Digital. I want to go back to digital because I know VATSIM has 8.33 spacing. This is a pain in the. Maybe the electrics aren't properly sorted yet. Although you would be able to select different frequencies before the engines come online, and I have the APU. So I don't know why that's not working. Thankfully, I don't really have anyone to talk to before I take off here. Or else that would get awkward. Let's just refresh VATSIM. Yeah, I'm literally the only one around at the moment, as far as I can tell. So maybe I should just get in the air and see when the engines turn on. Yeah, let's push and start. Okay, so the INS is now fully aligned, 0-5. So let's go from align to nav, and that's locked in that's locked in our alignment. Let's go back to waypoint 1, and let's go up to distance/time. You can see the distance to our first waypoint is 14 nautical miles, and it says it's going to take us infinite amount of time because the aircraft is physically not moving. As soon as the aircraft starts moving, it starts actively calculating, okay, at your current speed, how long will it take you to get to this waypoint? So that obviously would change. But that's helpful. That shows us that we're 14 nautical miles to our first waypoint, and it shows that the desired track is 351, which we can set in the 351. The runway headings, well, the runway heading for me is going to be 188. So let's just change the heading hold to 188, and then we will do our takeoff speeds. So that's 185,678. So it's 188. Okay, so with our takeoff, we will be taking flaps 15. Takeoff rollout is fine. Runway is going to be 19 right. KTPA, there we go. Wind is good. Temperature is good. Let's hit that button just to refresh that. Those are our flaps. Sorry, those are our maximum takeoff weight there. Minimum takeoff. Tora. I can remember what years ago now that I remember what Tora was. So let's go and hit the EPR. Let's hit the EPR selectors just under 2.0 or just on 2.0, and then those are our auto-calculated V speeds. Let's set the V speeds, and you can see them. V1 is 118, VR is 118 as well, which is just there. So the V rotate speed is the first white dot there that we come to. That's quite a low rotate speed. That surprises me. But then this is the dash 100. The V2 is 134, which is the red one, and then 550. And then those are the flap retractions, I think. So there we go. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just get in the air, because let's turn that on, and let's do a standard push and start. So let's get rid of this here, and once the engines are all online, hopefully we can change our frequencies. So what we will do is we will ask for push and start from GSX. So let's go nose left. Okay, release parking brakes. Control B. Okay, so we're going to start this one first. And we see N2 rising when N2 hits. Nope. Why you? Oh no, it didn't catch. There we go. I didn't hold it long enough. Okay, so N2, N1 and N2. N2's past 10%. So let's bring that in. I'm also conscious that the volumes are very low down. Let me just pull up. Oh yes, they are. Watching the T's and P's. Fuel flow is coming up. Exhaust gas temperature is coming up. when we hit 40% on the N2, no, it's 40% on the N1, the starter will cut out. Very soon now you'll hear it click. Any second now, come on. It's not clicking. Oh, I think it did click. Okay. Hard to tell. Okay. Engine number 2 is coming up. N2 is almost 10%. There we go. Let's introduce some fuel. Let's introduce some parking brakes. Okay. There it is. Engine number 1. N2 is coming up. Fuel flows have stabilized as 10%. Introducing fuel. So EGTs are good, stabilized in the green. Pressure ratios just under 1. Looking good. Fuel flow coming up there as well. Okay. So let's just double check our controls. Yeah, rudders should... Yaw damper is yellow, which I think means that that's not fully engaged until I turn on the yaw damper, which... I don't remember exactly where the yaw damper is at the moment, but let's... No, seatbelts are fastened. Okay. Okay, so with all 3 engines on, let's go the after start flow. And as he does those, I'm just going to pause track IR. That is a beautiful aircraft. I do love the proportions of this. I think I'll probably fly this more than the 200. Oh, that's so loud again. Save position. Oh, does that mean we've got a... That probably means we have ACARS.
Airspeed warning checked. Yaw dampers on. Spoilers detent. Flight director checked.
Okay. Cleared. Bay up to departure. Camjo transition maintain 6000. Expect. What is this?
After start checks complete.
Oh. Oh, he's just... Oh, he's just... Oh. We have got some... He's just pumped me out some... I'm going to go to Miami Control, 132. Right. Okay, why are they... Oh no, they're blacked out now. Oh. Can I select anything though? I cannot, still. Isn't that always the way? Very strange. American Airlines starter engine. Yeah. Check the start valve open light on the FV panel. I think your damper is lower forward panel. Yeah. Yeah, that's the anti-skid. Anti-skid test. What's GSX doing? Is it because I haven't set... There we go. That's what it wanted me to do. Okay. Probes on. I'm more concerned about the fact that I can't select any frequencies rather than the yaw damper at the moment. And I don't know why. Now that the engines are on, I would have thought that...
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
I've not done anything different than what I would normally have done in the 200. Yeah, check the radio. I checked the radio master switches. They are both on the CB panel behind the captain's seat. Yeah, they're both on. That's off. That's on. That's off. That's on. And down here, I've got the selector set to VHF 1, and I have VHF 1 turned on, as well as VHF 2 for good measure. But I still am not able to change any of the frequencies in these boxes. Even... It's just a... I've got radio... I've got this turned all the way up, the control stand light. Not that that should make any difference. But it's a weird one. Let's get the taxi light on. What I can do in vPilot, actually, is I can just right-click on a frequency and go tune on COM 1. And that will change. Look at that. That does change it on COM 1. Which, that's the only way I can actually select a frequency. Which is fine for my needs right now. Let's go taxi checklist. So...
American 513 Miami, ramp and control, just give me a call for taxi, runway 24. Envoy 4123, client chain, fly level 230, that'll be your final.
EPR is set to 0 decimal 0. Trim is set to 0 decimal 1 0. Pro heat on. Air condition checked and set.
Delta 1281, cross Marcy at and maintain flight level 240.
Checks are complete.
Visibility 10. Sky clear below 12,000. Temperature 23. 2.19er. Altimeter 3005. Departing runway 19er right. Notice 2 airmen runway 19er left. 1 right closed. Runway 1028 closed sunset to sunrise. Taxiway Victor closed between taxiway. In taxiway Victor 6. Taxiway Sierra closed between taxiway. C and taxiway Delta. Taxiway Delta closed between taxiway. Done and taxiway Foxtrot 2. Taxiway Charlie closed between taxiway. And taxiway Charlie 7. Taxiway Victor 5 closed. Taxiway Charlie 1. CTWO 3, 4, 5. CSIX. Seaton. Done. DTWO 3, Ian, Etoile, phone closed. Taxiway Echo closed between Etoile and Airborne North. Taxiway Charlie closed between Cone and runway 28. All aircraft required to have transponder on when operating on taxiways and runways. Bird activity vicinity airport. Hazardous weather information for TPA area available from flight service station. Advise on initial contact. You have information X-ray. Tampa International Airport departure information X-ray 1953 Zulu.
123, that's fine, advise back.
Okay. Information X-ray altimeter 3005. Okay, so what is he called? Coverage. Miami Control, radio check.
5x5.
Miami Control, United 231 is on the ground at Tampa, requesting taxi to the runway.
Yeah, 231, advise Tampa information X-ray. Runway 19er right. Taxi via Charlie.
With information X-ray on board, runway 19 right, and we'll taxi via Charlie, United 231. Charlie?
Runway 4123.
Let me just double check Navigraph, because they may have renamed the runways. No, they haven't renamed the runways. Via Charlie?
American 513, runway 24, taxi via Gulf 2 Foxtrot.
Just say it in text because I don't want to step on him. Hi Peter, good to see you taking the 100 for a spin. Are the systems pretty much the same as the 200? They are, apart from the fact that I can't select any frequencies, which is really weird. I'll show you. I've got the frequencies all down here. None of them are changeable.
Sorry, United
0.
2 right, taxi to Whiskey.
Sorry, say again for United 231.
Yeah, 231, runway 19 right, taxi to Whiskey.
Taxi Whiskey, thanks, United 231.
Hey friends, 9G,
Okay.
uniform Miami Center, squawk 4756.
Here we go, lads. What a beauty. It is proportionally perfect. This is the one for me.
Miami Yellow citation, November 930 Whiskey Foxtrot, fundable 450.
It's always possible to use .com1.
930 Whiskey Foxtrot, my center squawk 3371.
Oh, okay, yes. Thank you for that. Good reminder.
3371 for 0 Whiskey
Right, he
Fox.
said via whiskey.
Here's 0 Whiskey
I see.
Foxtrot, cross Goosec at and maintain 7,000. Correction, cross Goosec at and maintain 9,000. The Fort Myers altimeter 3003.
Goosec at 9000 for 930 Whiskey Fox.
Delta 8872, frequency change approved. Good day.
On the dark side, we'll see a Delta 8872.
I like the taxi feeling already. Actually.
Contact 20
Okay, so we're now on whiskey. The systems are essentially the same as the 200, which makes for a few anomalies. So it makes for a few anomalies because the 100 did not have electronic pressurization nor the autopack trip system. Ah, interesting. So there are a few differences in that regard as well. Nice. She's beautiful. I like this. I like this a lot more than the 200 already, and I've not even taken off yet. I think this is definitely going to be... I'm going to just get rid of that spot view because I don't like it. It messes up my groove. Oh, that's not clickable. A stab out of trim. Oh, yes, okay. Before we take off, of course, we need to check what our trim is, which is takeoff trim should be 7.5. 5, 6, 7, about there. 7.7, 7.6, 7.5 set. So it's not a...
1281, when issued a crossing restriction, the descent is at your discretion. Cross Goosec at cross Marcy at and maintain flight level 240.
I flew the real thing for 10 years and have found this to be an excellent sim of the 727, particularly when using good hardware like the Alpha and Bravo. Yeah.
American 513, runway 24, clear for takeoff.
If you've flown this for 10 years, is there anything you can think of that I haven't done right in order to not be able to select these frequencies? I've got both my nav radios turned on, the two switches up at the back. Down here I've got the two VHFs on, and I've got the little switch underneath set to VHF 1. I don't know what else I would have to do in order to actually be able to manipulate
555.
those frequencies. Yeah. Did you authenticate the aircraft? Yes, I did on first startup.
for Papa, descend and maintain flight level 340.
Okay. Let's hit the before takeoff checks. And let's then...
231, runway 19 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 19 right, United 231, thanks.
Base for Papa, descend and maintain flight level 340.
Okay, so he's giving me takeoff clearance.
Anti-skid on.
Up we go.
Strobe lights on.
Strobe lights on as we cross the threshold. Landing lights are on. Look at that beauty. Isn't she a beauty? I'm definitely going to fly this a lot. I'm actually far more in love with the 100 already than I was the 200, which is weird because I didn't initially think there'd be such a big difference between the two, but I've just been sitting in the cockpit. I love this a lot more. The fact that it is only the connection between the knobs and the frequencies points towards a glitch of some kind could restart it. Okay, all right, let's hit it.
American 513, runway 24, radar contact, stay altitude. American 513, radar contact, contain 10,000, stay altitude.
Let's go up and holding EPRs It's looking good. Thrust set. Oh yeah.
80 knots.
80 knots. And that acceleration is nice. And that's already V1 rotate.
V1, rotate.
There we go. Up she goes.
Positive rate.
Positive rate. Gear up. Oh, screenshot that. Oh, yes. Yes, lads. Look at that. Turn on that again, thank you. I find...
Steering's 20...
yeah, she does handle very
unable for
nicely.
Traffic, line tape level 370.
Okay, I'm going to go after takeoff flow.
After takeoff checks.
She does feel
Ignition
really nice.
is off.
Let's go autopilot
Landing gear is set
on
Circuit
at
2841, my center.
and go heading
Good afternoon,
heading
be
south.
advised, aircraft in left down and call sign on frequency, American 2842.
Let's start bringing the flaps in. It's increased to 250. It flew like a Porsche drives, yeah. Ooh, Dan Air liveries for this. Oh yes, please.
Yeah, 231, ready to contact say altitude.
Altitude 2,700.
Yeah, 231, turn right heading 320, climb and maintain 12,000.
320, 112. Turn right heading at 320, climb and maintain 12,000, United 231. 320.
Circuit 924, my center, good afternoon. Walk 5340 at Zeus, join the Vice 2 arrival.
This guy didn't have to ask me or tell me. I didn't need to tell this guy that.
Delta 1281, cross
Is off.
GG, at and maintain 10,000.
After takeoff
Key
checks
West,
complete.
altimeter.
I didn't need to tell this guy
3003.
that I was squawk mode. I was equipment code whiskey. He just knows, which is great. Look at this.
Circuit 513, climb and maintain flight level 320. Air 930, Whiskey Foxtrot, expect visual approach.
There's an approach. Thanks. 930 Whiskey Fox.
Oh, already passed. IS hold. Sorry. My mistake. Blue 250. Oh well. Let's bring the auto throttle up to 250. What I could do. We're only slightly over 250, and by the time anyone notices, we'll be above 10,000. So I'm not going to worry.
Climb center, giant 1856, how to read.
And 1856, my center, got you 5x5 now. Good afternoon, squawk
Speed trap.
7074.
Yeah. So, let's have a look at our navigation here. Let's go. Desired track is now
19 uniform, my center.
15. So that is direct to our waypoint.
Difference 92 uniform, the arrival runway is not going to be assigned until you're in the approach airspace, but it'll probably be runway 9er for you. United 231, proceed to Finky. United 231, proceed to Stinky.
We'll proceed direct to that waypoint I can't pronounce, I'm sorry. United 231.
That's fine. 0 Whiskey Foxtrot, just set to maintain 2,000.
Right, okay, so we're on nav, we're on waypoint 1.
2000.
Let's
0
go.
Whiskey Fox.
Ox nav.
Envoy 4123, descend to pilot's discretion, maintain 13,000. The NASA altimeter 3005.
3005, descend and maintain 1000.
Okay, soon it'll be coming up through the clouds, which will look good.
ANOV 84 Papa, descend via Bonefish 3 arrival, Miami landing east altimeter 3002.
We're turning into the first waypoint.
Will descend to
Distance time, 14 local miles. It's going to take us 2.7 minutes.
QNH was?
3002.
Up through 10,000.
3002.
Lights can go off. And we can bring on the fasten seatbelts. They can start puffing away at smoke, and we can now increase our speed.
2841, that's fine, advise back. American 2810, my center, cross raise, that'll maintain 10,000, 10th altimeter 3005.
Let's just increase our thrust again. We can go thrust up to 1.8, currently in climb as far as I can see by my EPRs, which are automatically set.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go. Hopefully he gives me, I'm going to be leveling out at 12,000, so hopefully he gives me a higher climb soon.
Delta 1281, expect RNAV, runway 9-air approach.
What an aircraft.
United 231, frequency change approved, good day.
Frequency change approved, and may I climb higher, 231?
231, yeah, go for it. Yeah, you're just outside of my airspace now.
Over to Unicom 231, thank you.
Delta 1281, expect RNAV, runway 9-air approach.
Let's go auto hold on the throttles. And we are on nav. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. So where's... Okay, there's the turn. I was wondering where the turn was. Beautiful. Let's get a screenshot of that. What an aircraft. Okay, so the new desired track is 359. So just go pop that on the 359. Let's just sync up the heading hold as well, or the heading bug, just in case we
Delta
need it.
1281, Miami.
There we go. We could go to Unicom anytime soon. So let's... let me see. Unicom. Hang on, let me go back to how I was supposed to do that. There we go. Okay, so... Yeah, still can't change any of the frequencies. It's weird. So on vPilot, in the message, I go .com1 space 122.800, enter. Yay! That worked. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's now set standard barometric pressure, which is 1013, like so, and that's synced on standby and captains and first officers, which is good. We're all hunky dory. Everything is as it should be, except for that autopilot servo elevator. I'm not seeing that. Oh, yaw damper engaged. Ah. Yes, yaw dampers. This was also the true Omega, which we did have on our 727s in later years, although none were delivered that way. Interesting. At American Airlines, the auto throttle was the FE. Yeah, and no auto throttle. I mean, I could if I wasn't on VATSIM, you know, I'd be happy to do that. But face green smiling. Interesting that the INS does not drive the CDI. I never saw a 727 with INS, although I'm sure some existed. But in every airplane I flew that had INS retrofitted, it drove the CDI needle. Interesting. I'm guessing what's happening in this then, Anthony, is that this is replicating a 727 as it would have been in 1963, 1964, before anything else was in existence. In that case, this is the way it must have been, I'm thinking. But because you would have been flying a 727-100 or 200 with a retrofitted INS, which means that maybe it works slightly differently. But that's an interesting thing you've pointed out, yeah. I'm really enjoying this. I think I'm really going to enjoy this aircraft. The only one issue that I've run up against is the none of the comms, navs, or ADFs can actually be selectable. INS was not in existence in 1962. That came later out of the space program. I mean, if you're a pilot, I'm not a pilot, but I kind of had a feeling that the Delco carousel was in existence in the 60s. I mean, what did the 707 and the DC-8 use in long-range transoceanic navigation? I was to understand that they used the Delco carousel, but I would be interested to learn that I'm wrong, and I have something new to learn. So, yeah. So that's Ecake or Ecoke. I think it's Ecake waypoint we've just passed, and we're now going Willon. And of course, the one thing I'm not using to track is Volanta. But you know, that's fine. I have no ETA in the bar at the top, which is a bit weird. I don't know why. Also, my call sign. Oh, you were United Airlines 231. I got that wrong. KJFK, KTPA. That all should be fine. Huh. Oh, and as it says, my altitude's 41 feet. I'm sure that's... Okay, the bar at the top, guys, doesn't look like that's working terribly well, but, sorry about that. In the beginning, they used celestial navigation and they used celestial navigation and a navigator. Yeah, SIVA came around this mid-60s, as I recall. I don't go, but I don't go. No, none of us go back that far. But it sounds it sounds like what you're saying tracks. I know the comets. The comets, well, the Comet 4 would have been around there as well, and that doesn't have a SIVA INS. So I think what you're saying is probably true. I just, in my mind, project back and think that the SIVA INS was slightly earlier before it actually was. Another thing, of course, that was around at the time was LORAN, and an accurate simulation of LORAN navigation is coming with the Comet 4 that's going to be released in MSFS 2024 by Classic Aircraft Simulations, which I'm super excited about. So let's just go and let's go and have a look at some of the positions in the aircraft now that we're in cruise. Let's go to the cabin. Oh, listen to those sounds. Wing view. Oh, imagine just looking straight back into the engine duct. Let's have a look at the left view. Very nice. Beautiful Floridian coast. Beautiful. If I go hit cinematics, we can just sit and watch them. Ah. Hang on a second. So you're saying you hand flew to altitude? That's impressive. I like that. Yes, there is a Comet 4B or Comet 4. No, Comet 4 Charlie. Comet 4C is coming to 2024. I've been talking with the dev who's doing it. It's a solo dev. He already did a Piper Cub. It's Classic Aircraft Simulations, and he's currently got a Comet 4 in production or in development. And he sent me some screenshots, and I mean we're going to be very happy with what he's doing. He's really making a very detailed aircraft as well. So and it has functioning. It will have hopefully functioning, accurate, like realistic LORAN navigation equipment, which is a first for any flight sim, as far as I'm aware. I've never heard of LORAN being accurately brought to a desktop simulator before, and he's in the middle of doing it, so it's super cool. I'm also asking him about celestial navigation, and for him, he actually bought a Comet bubble sextant off of eBay, and actually has it physically in real life to be able to then replicate it in the sim. So I think we're going to be really super happy with the Comet 4. I'm very excited. So let's get back in the aircraft here and have a look. The aircraft, oh, hello. We don't want to be overspeeding. Thank you. And we've got a bit of a, got a bit of a waypoint change, and we're coming up through, to our altitude here. Let's just see us into cruise. So you can see the further we fly, the more inaccurate the INS gets. Oh, and look, there's a little bit of an error slipped in there. Interesting. We'll have to watch that. Yep, we've now leveled at 350. And we can now... let's put ourselves about Mach 0.82 or Mach 0.84. Which is plenty high enough in cruise. And she is cooking. Go altitude hold. I like this variant more than the Dash 200, definitely. I don't know what it is about it. It just is. It's the right size. It's the right size. It's got lovely performance. No, I'm not to say that I won't ever fly the 200 again. I will definitely fly the 200 as well. I mean, I like the 200 for its routes, like Gatwick down to Tenerife, which is kind of 3-4 hours. I haven't quite sussed what the time and oh, there's an aircraft. I haven't quite sussed out what the time endurance is in the Dash 100 yet either. So that's Moose 1. Let's actually go to VATSIM and just see what Moose 1 is, because okay, that's a 737-800. And of course, in standard MSFS style, the aircraft isn't actually graphically popped in until I'm 4 nautical miles away from it. So I can see the contrail from it, but I can't actually see the aircraft, which is kind of annoying. I really wish I could actually see the aircraft if I zoomed in, which is a bit sad. Okay, so the auto throttle is holding us nicely, and yeah, we're cruising along very nicely. So really, it's just watching fuel consumption and cruise and stuff until I get to my last waypoint, in which I need to then start putting new waypoints in. The 100 was a bit more of a hot rod than the heavier 200, as one might expect, and it was a bit easier to land. Nice. I'm looking forward to the landing in JFK, so we'll see. Let me see what VATSIM is doing in JFK at the moment. Okay, so we've still only got the tower controller, which is fine by me, but if we have more controllers come online, I'd say it's fairly busy for uncontrolled airspace around JFK, so this will be interesting. Toronto's come online. Hopefully we do get some more JFK by the time I get there. Let me see what is my ETA. What is my ETA? Usually I used to get my ETA from Volanta, but I'm not rocking with Volanta at the moment. I should be, but I'm not. Let me just pull up Volanta and open this up. It usually gives me very reliable ETAs. What I might do, guys, in Unicom is go grab a cup of tea and use the bathroom and then come back. So, it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so let's have a look at... Oh, that's so beautiful, and I've got my actual... image of the accurate image on there as well. That's nice. So the ETA of Volanta is it doesn't really give me estimated time of arrival yet. That's weird. Why is that? Maybe it needs to take a little bit of time to configure, but I will come back to you with an ETA soon. T now, requirements for flight. Exactly. Right, so let me go and pop this on. T. Oh, not that one. It's T is. There we go. There we go. Okay, folks, I'm just going to leave you on the cinematic view, and I will be back presently. Okay. Right. Okay, we currently have a 68 knot crosswind from the left-hand side. Okay, so our Volanta ETA has updated now, and it says we've got an hour and a half ETA to JFK. Which sounds fine. And isn't it always the way with VATSIM? The place you leave blossoms with ATC, and then probably, I mean, the place you arrive that did have ATC when you started the live stream no longer has ATC. But there we go. Such is life. Ah, yes. I think I need... I think I need a jump seat view here. Oh, there is no... Oh, yeah, lol. There is no jump seat, but okay. I'll just go like a door. And then I'll just... Just pop it up like that. Save position. Call it flight deck instead. There we go. So we go pilot, that needs to be below, so we go pilot, first officer, flight deck, cabin, wing view, pilot, you see. So, well actually that's the jump seat. So, I could have done that, but whatevs. I used to spend hours looking for a good spot to fly with coverage at origin and destination, and then by the time I planned it, they'd all logged off. Yeah, that's exactly what I run into all the time, which is why I got Beyond ATC. And to be fair, Beyond ATC is okay. It still has a lot of work to be done on it, I think. Still some really janky things that go on at most airports that you fly to. But, you know, it fills a gap. It fills a gap. And also, what I'm really looking forward to with Beyond ATC is their VFR implementation at some point soon. Which I'm really going to be paying a lot of attention to, because I do a lot of VFR on my YouTube channel. Well, I don't do as much VFR as I should, but I started off doing a lot of VFR GA stuff on my YouTube channel. I suppose it's a good time now just to mention that I suppose in terms of the YouTube channel I'm running, I do general aviation aircraft and vintage airliners, pre-GPS airliners. So that's the FSS 727-200 and -100 now. That's the Just Flight A300B4. That's the PMDG 747-100, and that's the Inibuild's L1011. All for MSFS 2024, and that's going to be my lineup of vintage pre-GPS airliners. I'm super looking forward to the 747-100 coming online. Maybe sometime late this year, I don't know. From PMDG, I'm going to be all over that. And you mean A2A? Yeah, they are the proper aircraft. The Aerostar is great. The Comanche is great. All of the P3D stuff is absolutely great as well. I still fly the Boeing 377 Stratocruiser and wish that they would bring that into 2024 along with their Connie. But I don't think we'll see that anytime soon, sadly. I just yearn for the prop liners. I yearn for the prop liners. The PMDG DC6. The PMDG DC6. It's taken its time to come into 2024, which is a bit sad, but I think it will arrive at some point soon. I only recently have just started to decommission MSFS 2020 on my PC, so also known as AKA, the proper aircraft, like this. None of your flat screens and magenta lines. They don't really exist to me. I fly them just for myself, for personal enjoyment, but they don't ever see the light of day on YouTube channel. The one exception is the majestic Bombardier Dash 8 Q400, which is so out there that it might as well just be a steam gauge cockpit. Like, it's just so rugged, and it's so it just wants to kill you at every... It's like a helicopter. It constantly is wanting to kill you. It's so mega that... And so beautifully done by Majestic that I don't see it. I don't see it as a modern aircraft. I see it almost as a vintage a prop liner for some reason. But it's weird. It's like every other magenta line following airliner. Meh. That ain't touching my YouTube channel. Majestic Dash 8 400, come this way. But of course they've not brought that into the MSFS 2020 or 2024 systems yet, and Majestic being Majestic, it might take a very long time for that to happen. I don't know, but we can dream. I like this view with Chase Plane where I've got it sat up in the back of the cockpit, but as the aircraft is slowly banking, you feel a little bit of give in the horizon holding. Chase Plane really... Without Chase Plane, it's a completely different sim. I just feel the experience and the way you interact with the simulator is so much better with Chase Plane. Okay, so yeah, we've still got that 79 nautical mile crosswind slamming into us from the left, and that's probably why the aircraft is just ever so subtly wallowing slightly. But the INS tracking works flawlessly. The SIVA INS is working really, really well. I've had some hiccups with the 200 version. Sometimes things just aren't working, and you take off, and it's like your first waypoint is this direction, but then it flies you off in this direction, and you put all the numbers in correctly and double check them and triple check them, and yeah, whatever. But that's sporadic. That doesn't always happen. But this is locked on. I mean, look at this. We're locked in here. Look at that tracking. That is very, very, very good. I mean, that we're still only what is that? 0.1 nautical mile offset. Obviously, this is a short regional route. Well, maybe it's not the shortest regional route we could do in the 100. But anyway, at some point soon here, we'll start putting in more nav points in the Siva INS that we'll need at the end. The day the Dash 8 100 of majestic quality is released is the day I order myself a new PC. Yes, yes. Aloha and safe flights. Thank you. Yeah, good to see you, T Fox. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Once the, I think, are they bringing the Q200 first? I think, and that is steam gauge. I know the Q200 is a steam gauge. I seem to remember them saying years back, or whenever it was, that the next one after the Q400 would be the Q200. But I mean, just give me all of them. Just give me all of them. But the thing is Majestic take so many decades to release an aircraft for a flight sim that will be here until I'm drawing my pension, you know? Okay, so let's looking forward to a new build, but man, these prices right now, I know these prices. Did you ever fly the Pilot's Dash 7? No, Ian. My roller coaster experience with the Clipper from Pilots was such that I didn't really look at their Dash 7 with much interest when it came out. Also, the Dash 7, as far as I was aware, the Dash 7 was never really used that much by that many airlines. So there wasn't a huge amount of historic variation in airline routes for me to be interested in with that one. But yeah. Did you have that one, Ian? Did you ever fly that one? Okay, I'm going to put in some more nav waypoints here. So I'm just going to go down to the INS. We were at 3-4. And let's have a look at our situation. Okay, so the last waypoint that we popped in. No, when you have the Q4... Yeah. Well said. When you have the Q400, why bother? Yeah. Have a great flight. Love this. Oh, hello, Matthias. Oh, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, Matthias. I was just talking about 10 minutes ago about how much I'm looking forward to the 741, the 747-100, and it's triple Siva INSs. Oh, give them to me. Give them to me. I mean, this aircraft here is just training me for the 747 with its one Siva INS. And then the, just pause track IR, and then the Just Flight A300B4 has two Siva INSs. I'm going to be on that, I'm going to be training on that, and then hopefully the PMDG is going to be the creme de la creme. I'm going to be doing some transcontinental pre-GPS stuff with that. I'm looking forward to it. Also, I like I very much like the Calvin and Hobbes. I very much like the Calvin and Hobbes reference on your YouTube profile picture. I'm a big fan. By the time the Majestic finishes their Q200, I'm afraid we'll not. Yeah. That's the thing. Okay, so without much further ado, let's grab some more waypoints. I did ask Matthias if I could help to beta test the 747-100, but you wouldn't. To be honest, you probably have so many more qualified people to beta test that thing. I'm looking forward to the DC-6 though. Please, soon. Thank you. Right, so let's. What waypoints was I doing next? Ah, yes, here we go. So, Defenk. Defenk was my last... There it is, okay. So from Defenk, I could go Bicel, which is this one here. Okay, so the way I put in a new waypoint is I go back to the waypoint menu, and remember we had all these waypoints that we put in all the way up to number 9. We just go back to number 1 and we just write over it. So we essentially go north 38 15 0 insert, and west 75 16.9 insert, and that's it done. And then we go to the next one we want, which, let me see, act up, which is this one here, which is let's go to number 2. Let's go north 38 42 2 insert, west 75 11.2 insert. Let's go to number 3. That's act up, and we could go all the way into Cameron, which is the last waypoint that we will be using the SIVA INS on. How many have I put in already? 1, 2... Okay, I think I did. So, actually, let me just go back and double check. So, rather than can act up... What's act up? Okay. That should be the 38. Yeah, okay, right. So, this is... Cameron's got to be 0.3. So, north 4001.0 insert. West 731.7 insert. There we go. So those are all we should need. Let's go back to... Let's just leave that on number 1 and go back to desired track and reset that like so. And we are all good. So just by chance, I'm in the DC-6 now, flying the Misfit Euro City Tour. Very nice. Very nice. I had to make a judgment. The only reason I was holding on to MSFS 2020 at this point was for the PMDG DC-6. And now that the PMDG 737 is 800 is in 2024, I made a judgment that the DC-6 wouldn't be too far away for 2024, and so I've now started the process of decommissioning 2020 on my PC. So I'm now in this window where I don't have the DC-6, which is a bit worrying, really. I have to drink more tea on average each day, just to keep myself emotionally stable. But I've always still got P3D version 3 installed for my B377 and my Constellation. And a user in a recent live stream I did a couple days ago mentioned that I should try to drag and drop the Red Wing Super Connie from 2020 community folder into 2024, which I did, and I fired it up the other day, and the performance issues in the cockpit seemed to be gone. So it meant it's apparently I have a smooth running Super Connie in 2024. So I'm going to start testing that, flying that, getting used to how that works, and seeing if it's worth using semi-regularly until the DC-6 comes back. So why not keep them both? Because I only have a finite amount of disk space, of SSD disk space is a premium, and also I just prefer a cleaner PC, where if 99% of my aircraft I'm flying in one sim, why have 200, 300, 400 gigabytes locked up with a sim that I'm never flying anymore, because all of the aircraft that I fly are in another sim. So yeah. I wish I kept one of my old P3D versions for some of those old aircraft. Yeah, Well, I mean, I've gone back to P3D version 3 specifically because it's a 32-bit simulator. You can run it on a 64-bit machine, but the P3D version 3 is the last iteration of P3D that the A2A Simulations B377 Stratocruiser, with its Captain of the Ship add-on, still fully functions in its fully functioning form. You can install the 377 in later iterations of P3D, but as soon as you go into the 64-bit platforms of P3D, which is version 4 and up, you lose a ton of functionality in the 377, which kind of kills it for me. So I keep P3D version 3 installed still to this day. Yeah, I know Ian flies 5.4 and 6. Those are his mainstay sims still, which is good. But the majority of my stuff, apart from the Connie and the apart from the Connie and the Stratocruiser from A2A in P3D, pretty much, and the PMDG DC6 in 2020, hopefully very soon coming into 2024, 99.9% of what I'm doing now, I can all do in one sim, which is great. And it's a very, very smoothly performing sim for me as well. For video making, it makes complete sense. You're making me miss those now. I love flying that around. That and the old B17. Yes, there's a new B17 just released, Micro Pro for 2024, which I have, and I'm in the middle of beginning to develop scenery. And one of the scenery projects I'm beginning is my grandfather's old World War II aerodrome in England, where he flew the B-17 from. For like 30-ish missions across Germany, he flew the B-17 in and out of Kimbolton. So I'm currently looking at trying to develop Kimbolton for 2024. And then I'm going to do some cool video making and documentary making about my grandfather with that. Along with other scenery development projects that I have in the plans. It's going to be a long road, though, scenery development, though. Don't expect anything soon. I'm up to a 90 knot left-hand crosswind now. Atlanta's just come online. JFK still isn't terribly awake there. I could just divert to Atlanta, but there's no way I'm going to do that. I'm just going to stick to what I'm doing. So the crosswind is kind of, with the next left-hand turn, the crosswind's going to kind of kick me in the backside a little bit. So I will be. My ground speed is up to 512 knots, which is great. 2024 just looks so good. Just looks so good these days. It just looks so good. We are so amazingly privileged in 2026 with the amount of flight sim content and the fidelity, the graphical fidelity, the performance. It really is good. So our ETA into JFK at this point is 1 hour. And it looks like we'll be landing in kind of mid to late afternoon. The days are short. Okay, here's my left-hand turn. Scenery is a slow go, lots of source images, but all of the modeling and texture work is a lot, yes. I mean, I did take a hiatus in development when the baby arrived in September for a month or two. And I'm just kind of getting back into it now. A lot of time since I kind of initially started my projects in the summer, and a lot of the time is just basically getting used to the workflow of modeling in Blender, texturing. You know, I've got Substance Painter as well, so I'm kind of learning Substance Painter for certain things. So learning the workflows of taking something all the way from Blender into the sim, and then learning how LODs work, and then yeah, there's so many other things. I'm currently, this is an interesting thing here. I'm currently looking at custom texturing the taxiways, because the taxiways of the airports that I'm interested in have concrete slabs. They're concrete slabs, but in the MSFS 2024 SDK, when you assign the concrete slab texture to a taxiway, the concrete slabs do not curve with the taxiway. The lines of the slabs always run straight. So if the taxiway curves, all of a sudden the concrete slabs are on an angle to the way you're taxiing. And World War II era airports, and more recent than that, kind of up to the 50s, 60s, concrete slabs don't always do that. Some do, but some don't. Some airports, the concrete slabs actually bend. And I've got archive photos to prove this, and there's no way you can do that with the default SDK. So I'm having to learn how to try to do all my taxiways customly in Blender, and then import it as a perfectly flat geometric scenery object, and plop and place it over the airport, and then build on top of that. So all the things, all the workarounds. I cancelled a real flight today in a C-172 due to high winds and possible mountain wave here in Western Maryland. 50 knots at 3,000 feet? No way! Whoa. That's serious. Goodness me, 50 knots at 3,000 feet. No wonder you cancelled. In a C-172, the ground speed would be down to 80 knots. Probably less than that. 70, 60 knot ground speed. SDK, sorry, not FDK, the SDK. The MSFS SDK. Sim Development Kit, I think that's what it stands for. So guys, what I will say, okay, here we go. So I'll let you into a little secret here. It's not a secret, but I've not told anyone really about this. This is my primary long-term project. He says, and then scrambles around on the there we go. So this, folks, is a project that I've been doing, and you can see this is Shannon Airport, by the way. This is Shannon Airport, kind of mid-1950s, mid to late 1950s, which is the sweet spot between late prop liners and early jets like the 707 and the DC-8, right? So I'm developing scenery specifically for prop liners, for the DC-6, for any Connies that come along, for any Stratocruiser that comes along, the DC-4, the DC-3, the very early turboprops. So yeah, vintage scenery. So this is what I'm developing, and you can see right away. Look at these. The concrete textures. Look at these curving concrete slabs. Look at that in there. Look at that curved concrete slab. So I am looking at trying to custom, and look at the amount of oil. I mean, just check the oil on that. Look at that. But Yeah. So Anthony, right. So the idea is that Shannon is the first in the project because Shannon was the transatlantic hub. Everyone went through Shannon across the Atlantic. But once I've done Shannon, the next most likely ones are going to be Heathrow, late 1950s Heathrow, late 1950s Gander, and then late 1950s LaGuardia. And then I'm going to branch out from there. So I would then maybe go late 1950s JFK, late 1950s Montreal, late 1950s Gatwick, maybe some more of the, like late 1950s Manchester, Edinburgh, those sorts of things. The kind of hubs that propliners. I'm thinking 100% propliner life, because the propliners just don't see much love in flight sim at all. And I think one of the big reasons why we don't have a lot of propliner development from devs is that you're flying a propliner around modern scenery. You're flying a propliner into modern 2025 Heathrow, and it shouldn't be like that. And so we need vintage scenery and when we have vintage scenery, the operation of your vintage propliner fits into the runway length, the way the taxiways are set up, the way the stands. I mean, the whole approach to aircraft stands and aircraft gates at airports in the late 1950s, completely different than the way it's done today. And so all of this makes flying your vintage propliner so much nicer and so much more realistic and immersive if you have a vintage scenery package to fly into and out of with your propliner. Now, Shannon is also a good one to start with, because it's quite an obscure airport in the modern day. So if you had, let's say, the Shannon vintage late 1950s airport package installed on your PC, not that many people fly into Shannon because they want to fly into Shannon particularly. But the whole reason I'm doing it is because it was a massive hub in the late 1950s. It was huge. It was huge, and so it was so important because of the range of propliners. So it wouldn't be too obtrusive. Oh, sorry, it wouldn't be terribly intrusive having a vintage scenery package for Shannon installed amongst your other scenery. Of course, Heathrow, for instance, everyone's going to have payware scenery installed for Heathrow. So it's just going to have to be an issue for propliner enthusiasts. You're going to have to, unfortunately, uninstall your modern-day payware scenery for Heathrow and then install the vintage scenery when I release that, lol. But that's the idea. That's my long-term goal. My long-term goal is to have my own website, my own product list, my own scenery packages. I might have an assets pack as well that holds additional things. So here's one thing, guys. I'll show you here. I've been having a lot of fun with this. This is a sneak peek. Okay, this is yeah, isn't that fun? So I started the other day working on one of the shuttle buses that we would have seen in the late 1950s at a late 1950s airport, and this is called a Harrington. Look at the dorsal fin! Isn't that so cute? Isn't that ridiculous? But that's what it looked like. So if I show you that kind of angle, and then I go to my folder, I'll show you my folder here. Let me right click and go open. What is that? Open file location. There we go. Ground airport vehicles, reference photos. Yeah, here we go. Where is it? Harrington Wayfarer. There it is. Boom. So that is parked in front of a Boeing Stratocruiser. And then in the background, I think that's a DC-4. But there you've got the Harrington Wayfarer with the Boeing livery on it, which I'm going to do. And that's what that looks like. And for other reference shots, that's what the back of it looks like with the dorsal fin. And that's like the straight back from directly from behind, you know, sort of view. So yeah, that's a sneak peek, lads. I'm excited, and I'll make a lot more buzz about it when I've actually got a lot more to show for it, because particularly with Shannon Airport, there is an immense amount of research that goes into developing a vintage scenery, and so I will be making videos on the channel to talk about the history of Shannon and its development, and why certain buildings went where they went, and what was the use case for them, and the reason for the way the taxiways were the way they were, the way the runways were the way they were, because the runways were not the way that they are today. And so all of that history, I will be making videos on that, and those videos will go along with the eventual release of the product, so that when people buy the vintage scenery for Shannon, they also get a small list of YouTube videos that really teach them about the airport that they're buying the payware scenery for, because you know, you want to get to know your airport, and prop liner pilots, it's not just you know, we do care. It's all about history, and it's about the authenticity of the age, and so, you know, if we want to fly our DC-6 realistically, let's have some payware scenery for that, and let's get to know the payware scenery well as well. Sadly, of course, obviously, you know, if you had vintage scenery, you're not really going to be able to use that on VATSIM. But then VATSIM is not set up for late 1950s aviation anyway. So, but you know, if you got on with your friends on JoinFS, you know, you got JoinFS, or if you had some sort of private multiplayer lobby or something, you know, and you all had the same scenery, you know, you could totally simulate. Oh, I'd love to do that. Oh, I'd love to do like a group flight into Shannon 1950s, and just get the DC-3s and DC-6s in and out of Shannon, and we could get controllers, and oh yes, that's my end goal. That's my end goal. Yeah. Anyway, sign me up. Yep. Ian's there. Ian. So, I mean, I'm actually kicking myself that you and I went to Shannon Airport, and I didn't pay more attention to the airport when I was there. I should have, but it was only after we actually went there in real life that I decided to model it. Obviously, a lot has changed, but I found a lot of archive photos that are very detailed, so I'm happy about that. So. Anyway, 104 nautical mile, 104 knot left-hand crosswind. That's what we're dealing with right now. And my voice is very slowly degenerating into nothingness. I also do audio narration, so my full-time gig is audio work. So, you know, I'm already talking after a whole day of talking into a microphone. So we need to revisit Foynes now. The new building is open. That's true. Let me just cough here for a second. Yeah, I'm afraid what with the baby and everything that's come along, having the funds to go back to Foynes might not happen for a number of years yet. But I am interested in that. When you go next time you go, Ian, if you're able to take some photos, that would be great. Yeah. So rhinoceros, vintage traffic. Yeah. So that bus that I showed you was about, you know, when you buy the Shannon vintage package. my goal is that you look around and you'll see vintage airport vehicles. So all of the fuel Bowsers, the refueling trucks, the catering trucks, the passenger buses, the little baggage trolleys, the jetway stairways, that will all look of the era, and hopefully be dynamically doing the whole movement around the airfield thing. I did also have an idea, but this is even further down the line. My other idea, obviously, because we don't have VATSIM that's going to make any sense with a vintage airfield. I was also thinking of modeling static AI vintage airliners that you could kind of turn on and off for individual stands. So let's say you had like a 2D panel with an image of the airfield, and then each of the aircraft stands in the airfield, you could click on them and then have a little drop down box where you could say, okay, so whenever I load up the sim, you know, I want a DC-6, I want an American Airlines DC-6 in that stand. I want a BOAC Stratocruiser in that stand. I want a Super Constellation, a TWA Super Constellation in that stand. I want a DC-3 over here, you know. And then you hit, you know, apply, and then that applies a load of custom BGLs to the scenery in the scenery folder before you launch the sim. And then once you launch the sim, your static traffic will look the way you set it up. That would be my idea. I know, of course, that you can animate objects in sceneries, and I mean, to go even further, I might even try to animate the loading and unloading of static aircraft on stands, maybe. I could even try to animate a static AI aircraft model, start its engines, and taxi out on a set runway trajectory, and then take off on a certain runway. Obviously, that's a horrendous amount of work. I have thought about it, but it's a horrendous amount of work. So I might just. This is not all going to happen overnight. There's a long way to go, but I am passionate about it, and I'm passionate about seeing it through. This is really the first time I've talked about this with any of my viewers on YouTube, but you know, rest assured, when I get close enough to showing something serious, I will start making videos about it on the channel. So I always thought it would be awesome to have a vintage ATC tool like Beyond ATC, but with coverage and routing like in the 50s and 60s. Rhinoceros, I have dreamt about the exact same thing. We should hang out. We are hanging out. I'm just reading up the comments. It was a very necessary fuel stop, and for any of the early jets as well. Yeah, the original 707s, the original DC-8s, they were common sights at Shannon just as much as the prop liners were. And even afterwards, when the wind was bad, sometimes they had to refuel. Also, the Bristol Britannias, and there was some rare sightings of the Comet 4 at Shannon as well, although it never was one of the regular routes. Oh, hang on a second. Don't know if you noticed my previous comment, but there is now a very interesting JFK depicted around the mid-60s. Is there? Is there? Who, what, when, where, and how? You intrigue me, sir. Links. Send me links. One important thing, many of the nav aids you would need to fly realistically in vintage scenery. Yeah, I know. But PMDG seem to have said that they might be trying to fill that gap somehow when they release their 747-100. It may mean that that PMDG might introduce a custom nav package that you can turn on and off whenever you fly your 747-100, which brings back a load of stuff. I do know there's a mod on FlightSim.to that adds a ton of vintage VORs and NDBs. I've had mixed success with that, actually making it work. So, yeah, the Red Wing Super Connie. I've drag and dropped that from 2020 to 2024, and it seems to work fine in 2024. So I will be flying that in the days and weeks to come. Yeah, the Red Wing. Oh, the scenery Red Wing. Oh, okay. I'll have to look at that. I know that Red Wing are the only other people in the community right now that seem to be doing vintage airports of any description. Because I know they did a load of vintage airports based in the 30s. I'm just going to grab a rug for my legs and my feet because they're getting quite cold, so... I really need to not talk myself hoarse here because I have work tomorrow, so... there is one add-on that adds back VORs, but I have not tried it yet. Also, there is a way to get LF and M and MF ranges. Okay. Yeah, so I tried to use that add-on in FlightSim.to a while back, and... I had really mixed success because I would be in a vintage aircraft, and on Plan G I would see, or a little nav map, I would see a VOR out there, and I would tune it in the aircraft, and it wouldn't come up in the aircraft. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I needed to tweak it or do something else, or anyway. I think this is going to be a sunset landing into JFK here. Yeah, so my ETA is 41 minutes. Is now 41 minutes. Yeah, it's actually, the sun is now currently setting in JFK. By the time we get there, we'll be landing in darkness, which is fine because it means we get to see the aircraft in the nighttime lighting. So looking at the offset, so this is essentially the offset. That's 0.8 nautical miles. So basically the SIVA INS now has a 0.8 nautical mile inaccuracy. Yeah, you see we're running on 5.4 now. We're going from 8 to 9, and then we're going to go from 9 to 1. Yeah, 9 nautical miles to go. You watch this. We're going to go from 8 to 9 to 9 to 1. Because we have auto selected. So it's going to automatically switch from waypoint 9 all the way back to waypoint 1 in the understanding that you will have programmed waypoint 1 as the next one along. So no ATC to deal with so far, really, so... Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. Yep, 9-1. So now we're traveling into 9-1. And we'll deal with that. Nice evening. Let's have a look at what's going on VATSIM. Oh. Oh, hello. Who is this? Oh, we're getting some turbulence. That ain't good. Okay. Washington Center. Okay, so Washington Center is coming online in 20 minutes, but we'll probably be through that airspace. Yeah, we'll probably be through that airspace before that. Which is fine. We'll just call Tower. We'll just call JFK Tower when we're you know in the area and ready to turn finals, sort of thing. Look in the marketplace 2024 for JFK's 1960s. Okay, we'll do. Interesting, 1960s. Yeah. The reason why I'm pitching my vintage sceneries in the late 50s is because you capture that sweet spot, hopefully, where you capture a more realistic place for the prop liners, as well as you have one foot in both camps. Because a scenery, an airport may not have changed a huge amount between, well, that's quite hard to say actually, because in my research for Shannon, I can definitely say that there's actually a huge amount of change in a very short space of time. If you look at the different archive photos, almost, you know, 2 photos that are separate by a year, you can immediately see differences. Buildings are being built, some buildings are being torn down, taxiways are changing, more car parks are being built. You know, you can see that the airport is constantly in a state of flux as aviation is becoming bigger and bigger, and As soon as jets turn up, it's like, oh my goodness, we've never had to deal with this level of passengers before, you know. Build more car parks, you know. So... Ah! I have it and like it. Looks more like the JFK that existed when I was hired in 1977. In fact, I would like to see LaGuardia from the late 70s as well. Flying the Calm Star, if so, cross Hogs at flight level 190, lowest usable flight level at the moment. That's what ZDK would be given away. Anyway, okay. I guess I'm flying a star. What? Let me just see Cameron 5. Let me just see the Cameron 5 star for JFK. Are there any VORs? Ooh! Yes. That's what I like to see in a star. I've got me some VOR points here. I've got myself some VOR references. Okay. Well, Cameron is my last waypoint that I plugged into my INS. So, yeah, I'll follow. But basically, yeah, I'm coming down the star. I'm just using the SIVA INS. I will go down to. Where am I? Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm up to Sword. Sea Isle. Okay. Sea Isle is the beginning of Cameron 5. And they expect me at Hogs to be expect flight level 180 or lowest usable flight level. Right. So at Hogs I need to be 180, which is further down there. Yeah, I should probably start descending. Not quite yet, but fairly soon. Fairly soon. You only avoid stars at JFK if you're flying Air Force One. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. The last time you could probably avoid stars at JFK was in, 1955 or something. Same as at Heathrow, really. Except that Heathrow still has the Compton 5 Foxtrot. Yeah, I think it's Compton 5 Foxtrot SID out of Heathrow is still a non-RNAV SID. And the only reason they still have a non-RNAV SID there is because they used to fly Concorde not that long ago out of Heathrow, and Concorde didn't have GPS. Concorde was not RNAV capable, and so they had to keep a SID out of Heathrow, specifically just for the Concorde. Yeah, or declare a Mayday. Yeah. Okay, so this is where I need to start actually paying attention. Let's have a look at the winds. Let's have a look at the winds at JFK. Okay, so the winds are 16 knots out of the northwest. So we'll be landing on a 3-1, probably a 3-1 left. I take either 3-1 left, 3-1 right. Might take to see what the tower says, but the altimeter is 29081, 16 knot 310. That's perfect down the 3-1 runways. 9 Celsius, 9.4 Celsius. Yes, the of course. In their wisdom, the JFK controller is gone offline, so... well... You got to do what you got to do. But there'll be some VATSIM traffic hanging around at JFK, which will kind of keep us company. So, yeah. I might... No, it's still quite a ways away. Yeah, I'm still 100 nautical miles away. I don't need to descend. I don't think for another 100 nautical miles. United Airlines would ask for 31 right since their terminal is on that side. Thank you. Yes. Good point. That is. But there's no controller, so I'll just do it myself. You know. Yeah, so the old vintage approach and departure procedures for these vintage airpoints actually fascinate me. Because it's all based off VORs and NDBs and DMEs and all of these things, ADF, everything. You would be doing all of this, cross-checking all of this. You would be using your ADF1 and ADF2 and your VOR1 and your VOR2, your NAV1 and NAV2, and you would just everything was done non-RNAV, and all of it was raw data. And I would love to fly a proper vintage approach like that in the sim. It's just that there's no vintage airports. Well, I mean, I've heard that there are some. But it's really the vintage nav aids that are kicking us in the backside. We don't really have anything of repute in that respect. So. Jacksonville's come online. The tower at Tampa has come online. Ain't it the way? Ain't it the way? It'll be a good performance test. Okay, actually, I should now start descending. Yeah, right, okay. It's a good performance test coming into a place like JFK with traffic. It'll be a good performance test for this aircraft. What did I say? 180, I think. Let's just... Let's go 1,800 feet. Okay, top of descent is beginning. Expect flight level 180 or lowest usable flight level. I'll just come down to 180 and then I'll come down to 110 at Cameron, which is my last waypoint there. Yeah, I really hope that I did hear whispers that PMDG were actually creating a side product that dealt with the vintage land-based navigation aids, the VORs, the NDBs, the DMEs that no longer exist. I remember Matthias actually, I think, said on the forums that they are considering bringing something out to address that. Because when they released the 747-100, I mean, they put so much time into that add-on and expect you just to go and fly it with like a third of the authentic navigation aids that it would have been flown with. So here is another difference. Up until the 250 speed limit came about in the 1961 or so, they flew the red line on the jets from flaps up to flaps down. Of course they did. Of course they did. You know it. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I mean, didn't the Super Connie hold the coast to coast record from the East Coast to the West Coast for quite a while, because it set that record before the 250 knot under 10,000 feet rule came in. I remember learning that the Constellation held that record for a long time. Because by the time the jets were coming in, that 250 knot rule was in place, and so I think the Super Connie, I think it was either one of the Connie variants, holds the or held the coast to coast speed record, or maybe not coast to coast, like Chicago to LA or something like that. Yeah, triple Seaver. I can't wait for the triple Seaver. Yeah, just can't wait for the 741. That's going to be an absolute treat for me. I'll be doing I'll be covering that content. My voice is just getting harder and harder to talk with, and I'm glad there's actually no ATC online at JFK at the moment, because I probably just stop talking. Let's try and save my voice for my job tomorrow. What a beautiful sim. What a beautiful sim. Just beautiful. Right, so let's think about what are we looking at? Dome? Not dome red. It's not really making a huge difference, but I'm sure at some point it will. Right, so where are we? Let's just double check our situation. Okay, CIE is... let me see. It is Hogs, actually, which is past CIE. CIE and cars. Okay. We're okay. We're okay. Yeah, we're fine still. We're just descending down to 1800. And it is outselled. 6-4 on the accuracy. There's the coast, looking beautiful. Oh, the 250 knot came about as a result of the Staten Island midair. Ah. The jets flew for around 2 years without the 250. Ah, okay. I heard about the Staten Island. Wasn't that a DC-8 and a Super Constellation mid-air crash? I seem to remember. And I think the DC-8, he was coming in down the approach into JFK, similar in the angle we're coming now, and he misjudged his fix. And it was just information overload, and I think there was something like that, and they collided with the Super Connie. Yes, okay. My voice is starting to... Yeah, I watched a video about that. It was really interesting, but really sad. Yeah. You learn a lot about the vintage stuff by watching air crash documentaries and stuff, because of course, to build the context of what happened, they have to go into all of that fine detail, don't they? Which is often where you get a lot of insights into the way things were done back then. I love how you just got a red and white wires just dangling in front of you there. That's what it was, yeah. So the DC-8 normally has two, and you can cross-check the two needles to be able to accurately know when you're on a proper fix of two VORs. And I seem to remember, yeah, you're bringing it back to me now, that the DC-8 only had one operable nav radio at that time. And so they were trying to figure things out based on only one set of raw data, which is a recipe for mistakes to being made. Okay, 2 more 1,000 feet to go. Let's just level out to 1,000 feet descent. $18,000 feet is, of course, transition altitude in the United States, so we can go to local barometric pressure at that point. Well, actually, no, local barometric as soon as we go below 18,000 feet. There's a JetBlue and someone else above me. Oh, there, look at that. Yay, there we go. Oh, look at that. Let's just get rid of that so I can take a screenshot. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, guys. It looks so good. Okay, game face on. Let's get this right. What are we doing here now? Desired track is 9. Okay, and the distance is 21 nautical miles. Okay. Okay, there's 1800. We're holding at 1800 now. We've made a bit of a turn, actually. I don't like this. We've made a left-hand turn, and we're tracking due north, which makes me think that my waypoint is not quite correct. So what I'm going to do is I might go over to VOR navigation and just go inbound Sea Isle if I can. That's a VORTAC. That's 14.8. Oh no, but of course I can't put anything in my nav. Oh crap. Okay. Ah. Yeah, this has definitely got to be bugged, because... or I'll have to read up about that at some point. I started flying sim in 1982 with Sublogic. Wow. Well, actually, I started simming at USA Air Force pilot training 1971. Nice. What aircraft did you fly on then in the 70s? Yeah, I'm not. I'm going off course here. I'm gonna pull on. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem here, isn't it? Magnetic 38. But because of the horrendous crosswind, well, it's only 51 nautical mile crosswind at this point. So, oh, actually, are we turning? Oh yes. Well. Yeah, we are kind of turning. Let's just wait and see what the next waypoint does for us. Yeah, before we ruin it. Yeah, okay, let's just see what the next waypoint does for us. What an aircraft. I love this aircraft. Oh, guys. What a beauty. I love that. There's something. I love this. I love the different shape of the cockpit, amongst other things. I love the joystick. I love the thinner look of the joystick, and look how old it looks. They've really done the texturing quite nicely on that. Yeah, I do like this aircraft more than the 200. I will be flying this more frequently, I think. Oh, isn't there a switch you need to hit behind the fight? Yeah, I've got both of them on. Radio Master 1 and Radio Master 2. They're both on. That was like the first thing I checked, because you have the same issue. You have the same issue in
Few clouds at 2400 few clouds at 4600 few clouds at 13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C. Altimeter 2988. November 1 to automated weather observation. 2200 Zulu. Wind 312 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2400 few clouds at 4600 few clouds at 13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C.
Oh.
Altimeter 2988.
Ah, there we go.
November 1
No.
automated weather observation. November 1 to
For some reason, I've got an active frequency using 122.8.
312
That's weird.
Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2400 few clouds at 4600 few clouds at 13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C. Altimeter 29.
I don't know where that's coming from. The 727, 707, C141, and the C5. Nice.
Wind 312 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2400
What?
clouds at 4600 few clouds at 13,400.
No, I don't have anything that remote tunes the radios.
Point 2C.
No, I don't have any extra. I don't have any like hardware peripheries or anything like that.
November 1 to automated weather observation. 2200 Zulu. Wind
Okay, I'm coming down
1. Visibility
Sea Isle. I'm at 1800. Hogs is what I need to be at, so that's fine. Okay.
few clouds at 13,400.
Oh,
0C. Dew point 2C. Altimeter 2988. November 1 to automated weather observation.
okay, hang on.
Wind
Is that?
312.
Yeah, that is on VHF1.
November 1 to automated weather observation. 2200 Zulu. Wind 312 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2400 few clouds at 4.
That's gonna annoy me.
13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C.
Why would that be coming from VATSIM though?
November 1 to automated weather observation. 2200 Zulu. Wind 312
There's still no ATC on at JFK.
Few clouds at 2400 few clouds at 4600 few clouds at 13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C. Altimeter 2988. November 1 to automated weather observation. 220.
Bearing in mind, I've not heard anyone on Unicom for a long time. I wonder if actually most people in the US are on CTAF.
Few clouds at
What is the CTAF for JFK?
600 few clouds at 13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C. Altimeter 2988. November 1 to automated weather observation. 2200 Zulu. Wind 312 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2400 few clouds at 4600 few clouds at 13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C. Altimeter 2988. November 1 to automated weather observation. 2200 Zulu. Wind 312 at 11. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2400 few clouds at 4600 few clouds at 13,400. Temperature 10C. Dew point 2C. Altimeter 2988. November 1 to automated weather observation. 2200 Zulu. Wind.
No, those engineer's voice, fuel heat, EPR limits, airspeed bug, PAX temperature, and fuel feed. There's nothing to do with comms.
Temperature 10C.
Um,
Dew point 2C.
just looking at the CTAF. When is the CTAF? I think the CTAF trial was extended. I want to look and see what the JFK CTAF is. How do I find out what the JFK CTAF is? It would be on a chart somewhere. JFK CTAF frequency. Okay. Okay. JFK Class B controlled airport tower frequencies. Not a standard CTAF non-towered airfield, but for simulations like VATSIM, 119.1 is often designated for virtual. Okay, let's go 119.1. Let's just go there. .com1 119.100. There you go, 119.1. There we go. Okay, the lighting is now starting to. Yeah, you see the difference in the lighting now. So the so you can see us coming in on the star, but I'm coming in based on my SIVA INS. I'm not actually using any RNAV. We're at flight level 180 already, so we're down where we should be for hogs. And as soon as we hit hogs, then we'll descend down to flight level 110 or 11,000 feet to hit Cameron. And then from Cameron, I'm going to go Deer Park 117.7 on an inbound radial of 221 for 53 nautical miles. I love the fact that somewhere finally has a star with VOR references and radials and DMEs, so you can actually fly it in an aircraft like this. So this is great. Sadly, so many places in the world don't have this. Yeah, when approaching Cameron, you would get radar vectors, probably something like 090 for starters. Yeah. Oh, CTAF Airport ID. Oh. Well, aren't you the fount of knowledge this evening? Ah. No. Yep, someone's transmitting on CTAF. That's good. And that's quite far away. That is a very old star. Glad to see they still have it used. I have flown it quite often. Nice. No brackets. Oh, no brackets. Oh. Oh. Ah. Aha! Excellent. Thank you. Yep, that confirmed that I'm on the correct CTAF. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Right, so what is my 3-8?
And Washington traffic. JetBlue 545, 10 miles from the island.
Kennedy traffic, JetBlue 752 is vacated runway 3.
Yes, back in. How awesome is that? It is awesome. I love it. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really, really loving it. More so, I think, than the Dash 200. You're just in time for JFK approach. Right. So, what waypoint are we on now? That's 2 to 3. Okay, we're inbound to 3, and the distance is 41 nautical miles. So in 41 nautical miles, we go vectors, essentially. And because there are no controllers online, because they hate me, I will, yeah, I will have to go, yeah, I have the 200S and a big fan. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Dash 200 727 as well, but this is my first flight with the Dash 100, and it feels like more the plane for me, somehow. I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it yet, but...
And Washington traffic, JetBlue 545 is now established on a 5-mile final island.
We're all joining you for the landing. Okay, well,
Washington traffic is back.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, we're doing some last minute. The Siva INS is doing some last minute tweaks to the old heading there as we come in. Someday you should stream a UAL flight character code on the men only executive service. Oh, yes. They didn't usually use 3-holders in that service, but until we could get the Caravel, the 17. Yeah, well, that's true. Ah, the good old men only service. Oh my goodness. Oh, the days we used to live in. What a beautiful scenery thing. Did you get a notice of my raid? I don't think so. New York Senate advised cross Karen and at maintain 11,000 at 250 knots. The cane altimeter is 200 separate. Okay, cool. Cool, thank you. Yes, I will do that. Let me just check how close I am to... Oh! Oh, crap. Yes, I do actually now need to be down at this. Like... Let's get down there. And I need to be 250. I just rated you with 5 viewers. Okay, thank you. I don't think I saw... I don't think I have, Ian, set up on my screen a thing that comes up that says someone has rated you. So I don't know that I actually get any visual audio cue. But thank you very much for that, for those of you who have joined. I shall attempt to be worthy of the raid. Look at that. Beautiful scenery. Look at the lights just I mean, look at that. I'm just going to take a quick screenshot there, I think. Ah, look at just the coastlines and the lighting and those lights out there are aircraft, so. Okay, coming in 18 nautical miles, 3.4 minutes. We are now down to about 250, and we're coming down 15,000 feet. Let's hit the B key. And what was it that we got for the altimeter was 2986. That's 2987, so let's go to 2986 set. Coming down to 11,000 feet. And then from 11,000 we will then go down to lower. We will vector ourselves. I am the master of my own fate, the captain of my own soul, etc., etc. Yeah, so you see, people are coming in 3-1 left. We're going to come in 3-1 right, which will be fun. Yeah, gorgeous aircraft it is. Definitely. 12 nautical miles to Cameron. So, I'm really looking forward to hand flying the ILS and the approach. Getting a feel for the aircraft hand flying. I'm thinking I will probably do a lot more hand flying of this aircraft in the future. Just because it's that aircraft that you can...
1,000 to go.
You can do that. Okay, 1,000 to go. Alt cell. There's altitude capture. Okay, altitude captured, 11,000, and we are 7 nautical miles out of Cameron, so we timed that perfectly. What I'm going to do...
Okay, traffic, Swiss 17 kilo heavy, taxi runway 4 left on Bravo and Kilo, holding short of 3-1 left for traffic. Okay.
Not sure what that JetBlue is doing. Okay, passing Cameron, I am going to continue my descent down to, I'm going to say 5,000 feet initially. So... JFK traffic, United 231, just past Cameron, 11,000 feet, inbound 31 right, JFK traffic. Okay. Right, let's go heading hold. Let's go back to heading hold, and let's go heading select. Like so. Heading select. And let's also go down to 5,000 feet. Let's reselect the alt cell and go down. Let's go down 1,500 feet per minute. That should be okay for now. And let's just ease away from 250. Don't want to be riding 250 too closely. Okay, we're on heading hold now. Let's go a heading of. Let's just go left slightly. That wasn't really... Yeah. Oh, I clicked it twice. Clicked it too many times. There you go. There's heading hold. I think that JetBlue I was looking at earlier is a departure, not an arrival, so... Not a huge problem. Okay, now that we have relinquished our... Oh, no, crap. 11.5. How do I put... Oh! Hang on. How do I set 11? Yeah, how do I set 115 in nav 1? Is it the same way as doing
Yeah, if you have traffic, maybe we could 107 downwind for ILS 049.
is it dot nav 1 and then it's 11? Is it just the same thing? 1115 111.500. Unknown command nav 1. I don't know. I'll wait and see what people say, but that's a weird bug and it's annoying, but nothing I can really do about that. There's a guy, there's a 777 at 4,000 feet coming at me through the clouds there at my 11 o'clock. That's not fun. Okay, let me try that again. Dot nav 1 111.500. No. Dot nav 1 111.50. Nope, that's still not working. Why is that not working? Dot nav 1 111.500. Nope. That ain't working. For some reason. That's... we have a problem. Okay, 1,000 to go to 5,000. Oh, I should have my lights on. And the seatbelts and randoms on. Always forget something. Let's go to the approach.
Approach checks.
Why they've all gone dark?
Nav, beacon and logo lights set.
I don't know.
Brake pressure checked. Altimeter is set to 1.
They're both on. I don't know.
Boost pumps all on. Crossfeed number 2.
I might want to go off.
Fuel heat off.
Nav not possible. Sorry, just calm. Okay, that's fine.
Checks complete.
I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull off VATSIM. Sorry, I'm gonna pull off VATSIM because the extra layer of complexity of VATSIM right now is not helping me. And there's no ATC anyway, so it was just traffic in my way. And I need to now just land fakely. I'm just gonna do a... Okay, I'm gonna go down to 3,000. And come back to 200 knots. And I'm gonna come in... I'm obviously not flying as per any sort of standard because we have issues. I've seen the dark radios when I was doing some beta work for them. I thought they fixed it. Well, looks like they haven't.
1,000 to go.
1,000 to go. Oh, the lighting. The lighting is... The lighting in the cockpit is beautiful. Ah, this I love. This I love. The light. Oh, that's very bright. But this looks beautiful, and they're just underneath the cloud base. Actually, I probably could have managed this on VATSIM, but the issue is that if I have no ILS to come down on, this is going to have to be a visual at night, which is a bit hairy. But it is what it is. I could turn in another 10, 20 degrees. There we go. We've still got a 30 knot crosswind from the left hand side, which is going to turn into a 30 knot headwind on 3-1 right. So okay, so you were beta testing this for them, were you, Anthony? Let's put the wing light on. Oh, if we put the wing light on, you don't really see that, but you know. I like. Oh, that looks cool. I mean, that looks cool. That's a screenshot when we're looking down the runway. Oh, it's a lovely cockpit. I love this cockpit. Let me just take this screenshot here. Oh, beautiful. Oh, wrong one. There we go. I thought they fixed it. Yes, okay. So I'm going to go localizer heading 314. Even though we're not using it, it's just nice to have a heading. If you're able to tell them, if you were a beta tester, if you're able to just email them right now and say one of the users on day one in a live stream is having this issue with I mean, if you look back in my live stream, you'll see that the numbers in these boxes were not selectable. They weren't changing whenever I was moving the knobs as any settings I made. I have both of those up. I have these set correctly. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Right, okay, let's come back to about 160, 70, 80, 180 knots. Come back to 180 knots now. Actually, I could have done a visual approach. Now that I'm here, I could have left VATSIM turned on and done the calls and done a visual approach, but yeah, I don't really know what it's doing now. I mean, it's following some sort of frequency that I don't want to add in, but let's go flaps 5, 180, 185 flaps 5. Let's actually just pull the autopilot out. Autopilot off, my aircraft. Oh, and I can feel the I can already feel and see the wind out of the Let's take the auto throttle off. Oh, I should have actually, yeah, stupid me as well. Let's go landing. Oh, I didn't do any of that. Okay, guys, never mind. I'm just gonna whack it down, and I blew through the localizer already. So, yeah, this is just gone belly up, but it's okay. Okay, I'm not going to look at chat until I'm on the ground, sorry. Okay, that's 175. I need to be lower, just by visually... no, actually, I'm kind of on profile. 170. Let's get the gear down at 170. Not really any noticeable gear noise when selecting gear down, but maybe I exited to the external camera too quickly to really pick up that noise. Okay, so the gear is down. Let's continue with our flaps. Let's get flaps 15. We want to go flaps 30. I do love the handling. I do love the handling. It's not too responsive, but it's not too wallowy. I feel like it's... I feel like for the size of aircraft, and I'm pretty sure I'm not able to... It's only the Super that you're able to arm the speed brake. Oh, no, too fast. Let's not go that fast. Let's just... looks like the pappies are correct. Yeah, it looks like we've got the correct pappies, which I'm currently happy with. Let's... Flaps 30. Okay, flaps 30.
Landing checks.
Let's...
Flaps 30 set. Ignition set to continuous. Anti-skid on. Landing checks complete.
So this is the InnyBuilds JFK, for your reference, and I have photogrammetry turned on as well. This seems to be a fairly comfortable speed profile for a visual approach with no speed bugs being set beforehand, which was obviously my stupid mistake. the whole navigation issue coming in threw me. Okay, that's 140. A little bit high on the pappies. Let's just ease off. Not really following anything in the cockpit right now, apart from 1,000. Really? Already? Okay, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, pappies a little bit high. There we go. That's the profile. Ease the power back on slightly. We're at about 135 knots. Down she comes. I'm a little bit nose low still, so I could actually ease the speed off slightly more and raise the nose. Get that nose level. I can see on my horizon display. Yeah. I got to remember it's the Dash 100. She doesn't, you know, she lives down at the lower speeds, you know, when on approach. Not like the 200 or anything bigger. It's looking a bit better. 130, 125 actually. 125 on the approach is probably about right. Middle marker. Yeah, I'd say for a like 120 is probably... Yeah, 120 is probably final approach speed there. Oh, the handling is lovely, lads. The handling is beautiful. Oh, and this sight picture coming down. Watch this. This is going to be perfect. Oh. Spoilers. Oh. All that fun jazz. Yeah, my FPS usually tanks whenever I swap the views on rollout, so
After landing checks.
that's
Brake
normal.
pressure
Got some
checked.
elevation, weird, jinky elevation
Pressure
issues here at this
switch set to
airport.
ground.
And my FPS is tanked
And
just
strobe lights are off, taxi
while
lights are on.
while things load in. That's okay. Yeah, we got like 2 FPS right now.
Elevator trim is set to neutral.
Yeah, I'm not overly impressed with the FPS here, but maybe I don't have JFK configured terribly well. It might be that JFK has the default airport as well as the payware both being rendered at the same time sort of issue. Because I remember I thought I fixed that issue at JFK last time I was here, but apparently maybe not. Because Yeah, that performance is absolutely tanked for some reason. Anyway, I will not let that dull my enjoyment of that absolutely beautiful touchdown. The handling of this is absolutely superb. You know, maybe there are like one or two bugs that they've made, obviously, with the frequencies and the nav radios and the stuff. But apart from that, like that's just day one launch issues, as far as I'm aware. As far as I'm bothered. Okay, let's stop it there. Let's get the park brake on and.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. Please be seated until the seatbelt sign is turned off. We have to wait for instructions from the ATC. So next, thank you for your patience.
Oh, and he didn't turn the APU on quick enough. Okay, right. Let me just pause track IR and get outside. Let's just let myself think here. Oh, right. So, and yes, for some reason the performance is crap. It shouldn't be like that. Let me just see what kind of airport scenery we're looking at here. Are we seeing double airports? That's my question. Doesn't look like it. Are we seeing like double control towers or something? No. Something's just tanked my FPS and I don't quite know what it is. Ah well. Ah well. There's always give and take in Flight Sim, isn't there? Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. I super enjoyed that. I'm not going to do the whole shutdown thing. I think I'm going to call it this evening because my throat's done. And but I will have more. I will have more 727-100 content coming up. You can rest assured of that. This is a beautiful aircraft. I kind of fell in love with it as soon as I saw those proportions, like I was saying at the very beginning of the live stream. The 100 proportionally to me just looks spot on. I always thought that the Dash 200 just looked a bit too long proportionally to me. And the wings felt short and stubby compared to the length of the fuselage, and then having the engines and that raked tail at the back, just the proportions didn't quite look right for the 200, but the 100, that looks spot on. And it makes sense to me because the original 727 was the Dash 100. This is what they originally went and designed, which makes me think, well, they got the proportions and they got the look and the feel of it right the first time. And then, of course, the Dash 200 is just, oh, well, we need higher capacity. Let's just stretch it, you know, like they do to everything. And then you end up getting like the horrendously long DC-8, which was like the most disproportionate looking thing in history. Long version of the DC-8. Let's have something to laugh at for. Yeah, was it this one here? Oh, it was like. I mean, don't get me wrong, the DC-8 still looks utterly beautiful. I think the DC-8. Here you go. Look at the length of that. I mean, come on, Douglas. Come on, Douglas. I mean, come on, Douglas. You need to realize when to give up, and that's kind of pushing it. I'm sorry, Douglas. I can't follow you down that road of disproportionate, horrendously long, pencil-looking fuselages. That image looks utterly gorgeous, though, with the gear coming up and the engines and the flaps and I'd love the DC-8. Anyway, my throat is kind of done, so I'm gonna call it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah, flying pencil. Great landing, Captain. Thanks for the jump seat. Let me just check what the feet per minute was on that on my last. Just before I go, what was the feet per minute there? Flight. Let us have a look at the statistics. Landing rate negative 182. I'll live with that. That's fine. As my first 100 landing. Oh, my throat. Okay, guys, I need to go. And till next time, Ian, thank you. I got to go and like drink some honey or something and just rest for tomorrow's audio work. Okay.